tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Me tīmata mai ta tātou kaupapa I te himene, he hōnore, ka haere tonu ngā krakia, ka mutu I kona mo tēnei wahanga mōku, nā reira tēnā koutou, ta tātou himene, he hōnore. He hōnore, he korohia, mangaro ki te whenua, whakaro, paie, ki ngā tangata katoa, te atua, te piringa, tōku oranga, he honore, he korohia, mangarongo ki te whenua, whakaro, paie, ki ngā tangata katoa, te atua, he piringa, tōku oranga, ake, 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 amine. Tā tātou krakia, ko rangi nui, ko papatua nuku, ka puta ko rongo, ko tāne mahuta, ko tangaroa, ko tāpiri mātea, ko tūmatauenga, haumi e tike tike. Tōko nā te rangi ki runga, ko papa ki raro, ka puta te ira tangata ki te whai ao, ki te ao marama. Ko ia e rongo e whakaria ake ki runga kia tīna tīna. Hara mai te toki, haumi e, hui e, tāiki e. Tā tātou krakia ki te atua. E tō mātou mātou I te rangi, kia tapu tō ingoa, kia tai mai tō rangatiratanga, kia mea tia tāu e pai ai, ki runga ki te whenua, kia rite anō ki tō te rangi. Ho mai kia mātou aia nei, hei taro mā mātou mō tēnei rā. Murua o mātou hara, me mātou hoki e muru nei, I o te hunga e harana kia mātou. Aua hoki mātou e kawea, kia whakawaia, engari whakaorangia mātou I te kino. Nau hoki te rangatiratanga, te kaha me te kroria, ake, ake, amene, amene, kia ora tātou.
Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Me tahi, he honore, he gloria ki te atua, he mongorongo ki te whenua, he whakaro pai ki ngā tangata katoa. Tēnā koe whaia ane mō tō karakia, o tēnei pō, he mihi, he mihi, he mihi. Te tangata whenua o tēnei rohe, e nā mana, e nā reo, nā hoi whā. Rā rangatira mā, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. No mai, hari mai, piki mai, whakato mai, ki te whenua o te parafo, ki te whare o te konihera o whangarei te ringa parawa, ki te kaupapa o tēnei pō. te kaupapa o te tiriti o Waitangi, te kaupapa o ngā tamariki o Aotearoa. Ngā mate, o tēnā marae, haere, haere, haere. Te hongora, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Once again, I would like to firstly acknowledge the karakia within the whare this evening and acknowledge you, Whaia Ani, for leading us in karakia. Tēnā pia. On behalf of Manaia PHO, it gives me great pleasure and a privilege to welcome all of you here this evening for what is becoming a significant annual event on our calendar within whangarei and within the wider health world. On your behalf, I welcome all guests who have travelled here this evening, and in a special way would like to welcome our guest speakers this evening, Matu Moana Jackson and Professor Anastasia. On this, the eve of the weekend where annually we commemorate and remember the signing of Te Tiriti o Waitangi, we are privileged and we're honoured and actually impelled to continue the conversation, to continue to understand, and to continue to apply Te Tiriti to our lives and work. While this weekend as a country, the focus is more intense on Te Tiriti, for those of us who live here in Te Tai Tokerau, the focus is every day. This is where we live. It's who we live with, and it's how people live that keeps this focus alive in our minds and hearts and actions. 6 out of every 10 children born today in Northland are Māori. 25% of our children here are living in poverty. All children are the treasures, are ngā tohanga of Te Tiriti, are the treasures that the treaty is committed to protect. So why are we here tonight? Why do we do this every year? In the health world, we have a number of different types of organisations. There are organisations which we call mainstream, and they focus on the health of the population. And they're staffed by incredible, dedicated professionals doing wonderful things on a day-to-day basis. We have Māori-specific health organisations. And one of the great phenomenons of New Zealand over the last 20 or so years has been the emergence and the strength of these Māori organisations. And I particularly acknowledge tonight our three local Māori health organisations who are here this evening. Ngāti Hini Health Trust, Kia Ora Ngāti Wai, and Te Haoranga o Ngāti Whātua. And then there is a third organisation, or groups of organisations. And these I call partner organisations. Organisations that bring together or come together under the partnership framework of Te Tiriti o Waitangi. Māori and non-Māori joining together to work for health, well-being, equity within our community. Manaia PHO is one of these organisations, and there are few in the country. Manaia PHO is committed to Te Tiriti, and Te Tiriti underpins all relationships and permeates all activity within the organisation. Some of you may know the poem by Robert Frost, A Road Less Travelled. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveller, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. And I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. The road of partnership under the framework of Te Tiriti o Waitangi is indeed the road less travelled. At first, it appears to be a frightening, somewhat scary road to travel. But once one takes the first step and actually breaks through the undergrowth, we discover that beyond the undergrowth, there are in fact other travellers who are seeking, challenging, encouraging, inspiring, leading, nurturing, sometimes following, that we are not alone. Most of you here tonight are these people, and I want to acknowledge every single one of you who has taken the time to come here this evening, taken the time and energy on a Friday evening before a long weekend to give of this time to be part of the ongoing conversation. I acknowledge you all most sincerely. Over the years, we have invited significant leaders and rangatira who are travelling down the road less travelled to join us to be part of the conversation on the eve of the Treaty of Waitangi commemoration. And last year we were energised and nourished by Cindy Kiro, Damian Salmon and Tariana Turia. Tonight it is our great privilege to welcome two other outstanding rangatira within Aotearoa New Zealand, Moana Jackson and Ines Asher. Both of these people, Moana and Ines, have travelled especially to be here with us this evening. They have left personal commitments and family to give of their time for us this evening. And on your behalf, I want to thank them for being here. Both are outstanding leaders within our country. And I would like to first of all introduce Professor Ines Asher to you, who is going to be our first speaker this evening. Ines is personally known to many of us. Ines is a Professor of Paediatrics, Child and Youth Health at Auckland University within the School of Medicine, and is a consultant in paediatric medicine at the Starship Children's Hospital, which involves clinical work, teaching work, research work. In 2003, Ines was awarded the New Zealand Order of Merit for services to paediatrics, and in 2007, the Health Research Council Lilly Medal for her research leadership. Professor Asher is co-editor of Trying to Catch Our Breath, the Burden of Preventable Breathing Diseases in Children and Young People. Professor Asher is on the steering group of the National Child and Youth Epidemiology Service, which selects, collates and disseminates timely and accurate information on the health of our young children and young people in New Zealand, and is a contributing author to the Child Poverty Action Group's cornerstone report, Left Behind: How Social Income Inequalities Damage New Zealand Children. As chair of Child Poverty Action Group, Ines is a courageous, inspiring and passionate leader for the fight for all children's rights within our country, for their health and welfare in this land of ours.